Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kyra, and here on this channel, we love our makeup, but I'm also a recovering beauty guru, which means that for the last 6 years that I've done beauty content on social media, I pretty much bought anything and everything I wanted. And now I'm trying to rein myself in by tracking what I have, loving what I have, using what I have, and most importantly, changing the mindset to always want more. One of the ways that I've been working through all of that this year is by doing a gentle declutter of all of my makeup. And I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just going through as I feel prepared to reckon with different categories, do a gentle declutter, and then afterwards I'm sharing with you the 5 of each product that I would keep if I could only keep 5. So the last declutter that went up was powder bronzers, and so today I'm here to share with you the 5 powder bronzers that I would keep if I could only keep 5. So I have 2 matte options, 2 satin formulas, and 1 shimmery or radiant formula. So I'm gonna go through the matte ones first. The first one is my e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. This is in the shade Forever Sunkissed. Currently working on this one in my 2024 Project Pan to Hit Pan on this one. And if you've been around for a while, you might know that this is one of my favorite bronzers for bronzing, yes, but mostly for using to blend out my eyeshadows, especially when I'm wearing cooler tones. I love to take this and just lightly buff this in the crease transition area, and it just helps the cooler tones to kind of fade into my natural warmth of my skin tone just a little bit better. This is a beautiful, silky, smooth powder formula. I absolutely love it. If you put this in a different package and slapped a name brand on it or a luxury brand, I would 100% believe it. It is that good. And it's so funny because it took me a long time to connect with this bronzer, but when I finally did, it was mostly as an eyeshadow. I do love it for a matte powder bronzer if I'm using a matte powder bronzer, but it's a great shade and formula. And I kind of like this simplistic packaging from e.l.f. anyways. The other matte bronzer I chose is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Matte Bronzer. And I chose this one. It's a little bit deeper than the e.l.f. As you can see here, just a little bit. And so I thought this would cover me for the rest of the year. Anytime where I might have a little bit more color to my skin, this will do the job. As you can see, it's just a slight variation, but I also really enjoy this formula. It's a big enough compact if you wanted to bronze anywhere else on the body, you could do that. I love that this is a refillable bronzer, so that if I ever use this up or I wanted to add another shade to my collection, I could just buy the pan and just use this package, maybe switching them out for, you know, like winter and summer. Then you could put one of them in a magnetic palette and put the one you want to use in here. It is, you know, undeniably beautiful packaging, and it's beautiful. It's kind of big, I will say that. It's kind of big and clunky. If I was going on vacation, I don't know that I would take this one. I'd probably take this one. But they're both beautiful formulas. Again, the Charlotte Tilbury is honestly every bit as smooth and silky as the e.l.f. bronzer. So it's beautiful. I love the shade of this. I love the formula, and the packaging is just the cherry on top. And yes, I did spill coffee on my shirt this morning, so if you happen to get a peek of it, no, you didn't. Next, let's talk about the satin bronzers that I love and would absolutely keep if I could only keep 5 bronzers. And that is first, this one. I believe this is discontinued. I'll correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong, but this is the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Bronzer in the shade Solar Pop. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it has a beautiful flower embossing that used to be across the entire surface. You can see I've used this quite a bit. It is one of my favorite bronzers, and one of the reasons that I chose this one is for the tone. The tone is just ever so slightly reddish. That is something I really enjoy in a bronzer, especially in the summer. That red tone just really kind of counteracts the yellow on my skin and just really gives a beautiful bronzy sun-kissed look. Some bronzers, even these from e.l.f. and Charlotte Tilbury, can lean a little bit more to the yellow side of things. And while I can get away with that, especially when my skin is more pale, this is the perfect tone for me, in my opinion, for the time of year where I'm a little bit deeper complected. I absolutely worship at the altar of SPF 50, but my skin just naturally tans, my hair naturally gets lighter. It's just the way it is. My dad's the same way, and so I must get it from him. Thanks, Dad. But love this, and it is a beautiful satiny formula, so I'm happy to have this one. And for my other satin bronzer, it is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. This is the shade Nude Bronze Light, and it is lighter. This is something where I might want a satin bronzer through the winter months or something like that. It's not dark. I have darker ones in palettes, but the ones they seem to put out as singles just don't seem to be all that dark. I don't know why that is. I wish it was different, because I think everybody should be able to enjoy this formula. But I am really happy to have this. It is not highlighty, as you can see. In fact, it's almost a little less glowy than the Clinique one, but it's a beautiful tone. I love layering this over cream bronzers, and I can do that during the summer if I just want to set my cream or give it just a soft luminosity to a matte cream. This is a great candidate for that. It's one of my prized bronzers, and so I would definitely be keeping that one. Memorial Day when I'm filming this, and I need all the coffee today. I woke up at 6:30 for some unknown reason, and I'm a strong believer 6:30 should not come twice in one day. Lastly, if you've been around for a while, you probably guessed this was going to be in the roundup. This is my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I have the shade Light. I'd like to also have the shade Deep, because it's kind of it's got a little more red to it. This is quite a neutral shade, so it can work for me kind of anytime really. But this one is an important bronzer. You can see it's a lot more radiant and even shimmery than the two satin options that I showed you. But this one is so beautiful. It's got a very smooth texture to it. Like if you ever used an eyeshadow that just looked very smooth on the eyelid, this is the same kind of idea. In fact, it can almost be like an eyeshadow texture. I call this the fixer of bronzers. You can absolutely layer this over any kind of patchy cream, liquid, powder, matte, whatever. You can layer this over any bronzer. If your face is missing something, if you just overall feel kind of flat or like something's missing from your makeup, this is what it is. I love this. You can see from the massive pan. Currently, I believe this is discontinued. They tend to bring it back in different packaging from time to time. So my hope is that they will do that again soon. But I do believe you can probably still find this on Amazon or someplace like that. So I will do my best to link it down in the description box. So I feel like this is a really good roundup of bronzers. I think I would be happy with these 5 bronzers, though please don't take the rest of my bronzers. I do love them all, but these are at the tippy top, and I also feel like they would cover all my bases. They would cover all the seasons. Stay tuned. I believe the next declutter coming up is my concealer declutter, which surprisingly, I got rid of more than I expected to, but in a really great way. I felt really happy and content with the results of that declutter. So that is coming up soon. And then of course my 5 concealers that I would keep, if I could only keep 5, will be coming up after that. I hope you guys are having a great day or night wherever you are. And I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I'll see you in the next one very, very soon. Bye.